Welcome to The Map, your music access podcast. I'm your host, Zigzag Jones.
Straight from the block, story turned into movie with a beat, fictional and non-fictional, songwriting tips and advice.
See you on the set. Bro, you're supposed to sit down.
Welcome to the map.
First, let me see if I can be able to find good TV. See what Luke Beasley talking about. I like watching the Luke Beasley show.
Why does Fox News work so hard?
Why does Fox News work so hard? To hide from their audience certain things. That's the question. They are purposely, intentionally hiding this story from the eyes and ears of their viewers, like their viewers are children who can't bear to hear something they don't like. Hoax alert, new hoax alert. Hoax alert, new hoax alert.
With that disgusting
Media Matters reports Fox won't tell viewers that the UAA bought off Trump. Now, if you're a Fox host, I know we talk a lot about this story, but really think about it, please, very important. If you're a Fox host and you spent wall to wall during the Biden administration pretending like Biden was corrupt because of Hunter Biden's business dealings, what the hell are you supposed to do when this story breaks? If you're honest, you go, "Hi, I'm Jesse Waters. I resign. Trump's corrupt. I was dishonest this whole time." That's what you do if you're honest.
All right, here we are with a social psychologist and the best-selling author of The Anxious Generation and The Amazing Generation, Jonathan Haidt, former National Security Advisor, host of the podcast Today's Battlegrounds, former Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster, and the host of MS Now's The 11th Hour, Stephanie Ruhle. Okay, here are the questions from the people. Prano, are we at an AI tipping point? Well, I don't know. I read this week that there's a new generation of, first of all, the new generations of AI seem to come faster and faster. I don't know, this is not my area, but it was basically saying it's gotten to the point where it's writing the code for itself. Is this a real thing?
Technology that we're told is increasing on an exponential scale means that it is a tipping point, and it will always be a tipping point forever.
Okay, so what are the implications?
I'll say one of the things that's interesting. A year ago, you had lots and lots of CEOs talking about how excited they were about AI and it was going to transform their business, and about 6 months ago, they went completely silent. That doesn't mean they don't believe in AI anymore. It's that their PR department said, you better stop talking because we're going to lay off so many people. You don't want to be touting the beauty of AI just before we have massive layoffs across the board. AI is coming.
Even the head of Anthropic said that. Did he not?
Yes,
he said he's talking about 10 to 20% in the next 5 years, because even the coders, the people who wrote the code, they're out of a job. People in medicine, people in consulting, people in finance.
Accounting, finance,
all these white-collar jobs. You know, it's not just coming for the people at the factory who used to do the bolts, and now the robot does that. It's everywhere. And if we're talking about 20%, that's what we had in the Depression, 20% unemployment.
Yeah, there are going to be huge transitions in the economy for sure. And like all these big changes, some people are going to be left behind. I mean, I think the last time we had such a big shift was really after China's entry into the World Trade Organization and the associated loss of so many manufacturing jobs across the Midwest. And I remember George Packer's book about the effect on people at the time, and called The Unwinding, right? And man, I'll tell you, I mean, you know, we're going to have a similar situation. That's why it's important to get ahead of it and to make sure that, you know, people are adapting to it, using it now, you know, to figure out how it can make them more productive. The first people to be left behind are those who don't adapt to using some of these large language models and the capabilities it can give you.
And we need the government to be thinking about how are we going to address that, and we don't seem to have any unified force in the government addressing it, at least not yet.
Yes, sir.
Can I just add that dealing with the economic changes, the loss of jobs, this is an incredibly hard problem. I don't think anybody knows how to deal with it. But here's an easy problem. AI is coming for our relationships. Social media came in, hacked kids' attention, took it away with disastrous results for their education and their thinking. Now there are chatbots and teddy bears. Children are literally going to get attached to this very responsive chatbot rather than to their parents. So here's something easy we can do. Say, this is incredibly threatening to human development. Can't we just keep it away from the kids? Can't we just not let Silicon Valley do another experiment on the next generation?
But now everybody running scared, everybody on the media, all on the news outlets talking about how everybody felt it when this happened with Steven, you know, with Jimmy Kimmel Live. You know, like, what the fuck y'all talking about? Y'all allowed this shit to happen. Y'all did this as far as I'm concerned. All the media, CNN, MSNBC, Joe and Mika, Jake Tapper, all of them, you know what I'm saying? It's just a few of them that was calling it out on their ass like stank on shit. And that was like Roland Martin, you know what I'm saying? Or Chris Hayes, the Luke Beasley show. Adam Mockler. I'm talking about when you want to ponder politics, the Midas touch, stay on it and be on it. Before I start my work day, is coffee and couch politics. Them boys don't take no prisoners, shit. The David Pacman show is always ongoing. Brian Tyler Cohen always come with receipts you already knowing. Just all across the whole board as far as all the different stuff that's been going on since Trump came back in office. But even more so since this has happened. But man, y'all let this happen. What kind of commercial was that? Nonsense. Oh, like damn, what kind of commercial is that? It wasn't. I think the revolution is gonna be televised. But yeah, man, they all talking about this is unprecedented. Well, why the fuck we letting it happen if it's unprecedented? Like why? Now you talking about the damn great experiment. It's probably finna be over. Yeah, he still got a lot more time to do some fucked up shit. How many more years does he have? I mean, you know, theoretically he ain't got real. He ain't done a year yet, so he still got 3 years.
And counting.
All that lame duck shit, all that, you know, I just don't really think that really matter if you making moves. If you making some shit happen, don't matter, you lame duck. You can do some shit till the day you walk off the damn steps of the office. Ridiculous, man, fat. That they even let this motherfucker be back in office is ridiculous on that. And all the black people, Hispanic, other nationalities that ain't white that voted for him. You know he ain't finna let you sit down and have dinner with him. You can't even buy an hors d'oeuvre plate. Motherfucking hors d'oeuvre plate is gonna be minimal 6 figures, cause everything he do is about donations. Oh yeah! You can't even come up in Mar-a-Lago without some money.
His brothers, his father is a deacon at my church.
That's bullshit.
Louis Elder was 25 when he drove his rust-colored pickup truck through the curling roads of the Rocky Mountains, heading toward a town he had never seen and a life he wasn't sure he was ready for his wife, Marissa, 8 months pregnant and exhausted, slept against the window beside him. Louis kept one hand on the wheel and the other on the radio, switching between stations that crackled with static as the terrain rose into the clouds. Whisper Ridge appeared like a dream through the trees. Small cabins, old storefronts, a river slicing through the valley like a silver blade. It looked harmless, too harmless, but Louis didn't see that yet. All he saw was a fresh start, and a place where his soon-to-arrive son could grow up without the chaos of the city. Their house sat on a hill overlooking town, a creaking structure with floors that complained with every step. The previous owner had left in such a hurry that the icebox still hummed and a photograph of 3 unsmiling children remained on the mantle. Marissa didn't like that photo. She asked Louis to get rid of it, but he kept forgetting. Or maybe he didn't want to touch it. That first night, Louis heard something moving in the walls, scratching, crawling. He told himself it was the house settling, old wood, old pipes, old imagination. But the sound kept returning, always after midnight. 3 weeks later, the call came in. A man had been found dead at the edge of town. Everett Kane, a retired school teacher who lived alone in a small cabin surrounded by trees. The police force in Whisper Ridge was small. 8 officers, including Louis. and no one expected a homicide, not here. When Lewis stepped inside Everett's cabin, a coldness slid over him. The air didn't smell like death. It smelled like secrecy. Papers covered the tables, walls, even the floor, maps of old mining tunnels, names of families who once owned the land, and hand-drawn symbols that resembled scratches made by something desperate to be heard. Everett's body lay twisted beside his desk, one arm stretched toward a circle he had drawn in red ink on the map of the mines. No signs of struggle, no forced entry. It was as if Everett had been waiting for something that finally came. Lewis didn't sleep that night. He sat at the kitchen table, spreading copies of Everett's drawings out before him. Marissa watched from across the room, rubbing her belly. She told him the house made her nervous. The nights felt longer here, the shadows heavier. Lewis promised everything was fine, but he didn't believe it, because Whisper Ridge was hiding things. And Everett Kane had died, trying to uncover them.